Hello all loonies and normals, I'm Joe Silver and welcome to my channel. This week we're going to be talking about FTL and Long Dark. Now let's start with FTL. Obviously, for those who don't know, FTL is full title is FTL Faster Than Light, and what happens is that you are the captain of the Federation ship, the Kestrel. Your job is to get a message from one side of the universe to the other through 8 sectors, and inside each of those sectors are beacons from which you jump from one to the other, and your job is made harder by the fact that there are rebellion ships about, there are other ships about, and some of them are hostile, some of them are asking for help. However, you've got to make the choice. What do you do? And it gets harder and harder through each sector, so each sector is harder than the last one. So even on easy, the game isn't easy. Now I love playing it, I really do, but I've never completed it because it really is that harder game. I've never actually completed it, and I did love playing it for a while, but like I said, it just got so insane, and yeah, I never beat it. So that's that one. But look, if it's something that you enjoy, you should check it out. It's on Steam. And honestly, why did I enjoy it? Well, I liked it because you got to fly your spaceship, and you got to do all that, and it was really fun. And you could really have some fun with it. And even though it was an indie game, which, there's nothing wrong with that, but it was an indie game, so that sort of told you, that it's not COD level graphics or whatever, or FIFA 17 level graphics, but it didn't matter because it was just such a fun, silly little game that would just kill a few hours while you tried to get through each sector. But like I said, I never completed it. I never did. I tell you, it was so hard. But it was fun, and it's just something that I really enjoyed, and I thought I'd feature it this week on my channel. Right, next one is The Long Dark. Now this one is a survival game. It's a bit different to your average survival game, because your average survival game brings in things to get you through the boring parts, of where you're farming and everything. So they bring in zombies, they bring in cannibals, or they bring in dinosaurs in one particular case. This game has none of that. This is pure survival. That's it, pure survival. Basically what has happened, there is a geomagnetic disaster of some kind, I think they said it was. Either way, anyway, you find yourself in the Canadian wastelands, and it's constantly snowing, it never stops being cold, so you have to survive that. And you have to do it by raiding empty houses, seeing what people who have left behind to get food. You have to fish, you have to hunt, you have to craft some items to be able to do that, like rabbit skin and rabbit fur gloves, and so on and so forth, so that you can actually survive. And basically the whole point of the game is how long can you survive. Now my longest was 5 days, but honestly that's not easy. That is really not easy. Every time you go out you get cold. Every time you go out you get thirsty, you get hungry, and if you haven't got the stuff to cope with that, then you're screwed. And if you go out to try to light a fire, it doesn't always work either. You can try and light a fire and then the fire won't start, which is really annoying. So then you have to try again to get it to go, and if you can't get a fire going you can get cold, and bears attack you and wolves attack you, which is really annoying. And basically it is just a constant struggle sometimes just to survive, but that's kind of what makes it fun for me, because the zombie games I just do my head in. There are about 1 million zombie games out there, so why do we need one more? So, cannibals, like in The Forest, the game The Forest, just make no sense. You crash in the middle, have a plane crash in the middle of the forest, and like, why would they be there? That makes no sense. And the Ark game that uses dinosaurs never explains why they're there, because there's clear indications that it's set in the future, not the past. So why are they there? It makes no sense to me. But with the Long Dark, there was none of that. I had no problems with it. I enjoyed it, and I just, honestly, it was just exactly what I wanted. Just something that where you just have to survive, nothing else. And if you don't, you're stuck. Now, I survived 5 days before a wolf attacked me and left me so injured that I looked and thought, there is no way I'm coming out of this. So I just literally, on purpose, did something you're not supposed to do, which is go to sleep. Because once that happens, when you're injured, you fade into the Long Dog, hence the title. And that's what happened, and it was like, yeah, I knew I was stuffed on that one. So that's why I didn't survive any longer. But honestly, that is hard. And you know, I've seen other people like who say that they can survive 10 days, 16 days, and then they start struggling, and it's like, I can't even get that far. So, you know, again, the game is on Steam, and it's a really fun game. So if you like survival games, that's what that's about. And like I said, honestly, I enjoyed it. I really did. But so hard. And sometimes I thought, you know, how on earth do you manage to get through? How do people get through to 16 days or even 10 days? Because I couldn't get anywhere near. And like I said, you're constantly moving around it through the cold, and you're constantly hearing them complain about how cold it is, which tells you, oh, it's time to put a fire or something. And of course, you get blizzards come in as well suddenly. So then you're fighting through a blizzard, and that makes your character even colder. So you have to get in quickly. And there's like ice holes where you can fish, but you know, it's like, oh. So yeah, that was hard, and honestly, I was not very good at it. I've never been given survival training in real life, obviously, so how would I know how to survive? So yeah, it was a fun game, and I really liked it. But anyway, if you like this content, if you've liked what you've seen here, hit that like button, and you know, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment below. I've been Joe Silver. Bye bye.